Thanks so much for your patience and staying with us. First of all, I'd like to get your reaction away from what we're about to discuss on the Trump tariffs. What do you make of the impact, especially for Nigeria? Any worries from your end?
Good morning, Nigerian, and God bless Nigeria. Well, when it comes to trade policies, the approach that the United States government under President Donald Trump is taking is a zero-sum approach. And that approach is not sustainable. I think that what I can read from their own tactic is that they want to threaten to bring the roof down in order to draw attention and bring partners to the table. I don't think that Nigeria is a country that is targeted, particularly. I think there are about 5, 6 countries, China, Vietnam, a few of them like that. Even their friends in the European Union, Canada, Mexico, where the majority of the imports come from. I think the U.S. reliance on Nigerian products is very minimal, less than 1%. So the trade policy will change, but it won't be so radical. And for us, what we need to do here, why I'm not worried, is that what we need to do, in a way, that policy favors us because under the WTO arrangement, we are not able to protect our own domestic market. Our textile industry is essentially going to Asia. Furniture and other basic things that we can produce here in Nigeria are now being imported into the country. And when we did a ban of rice under President Buhari, we see that the international community complained that why would we do that? So what that policy in a sense favors us because we need a bit of a rejuvenation of our basic industries here. So it's now for the government to take advantage of it. I think that overall, international global players would want free trade and they want no restriction, no tariff. But for someone like us in Nigeria, people like us who are trying to develop, the long run is going to be in our favor. We have the population, we have the market. If they lock us out of the market, we can consume a lot of our products. The products that we earn most of our money from, mainly petroleum, mainly solid minerals, those ones, they will not be able to put tariff on them because they're essential to their own economy. But I think it's for our policy makers here to adjust critically. Last year, when I was chairman of the trade policy conference at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, which was organized by Nigerian Customs, I was able to warn the Nigerian government that this was going to happen and that if US and Canada, who are like Siamese twins, can be having trade disputes, that it was a matter of time before we reach our turn. Now we should take the advantage of that to grow our industry. We have nothing to fear at all, except if we have poor leadership.
Now, away from trade policies, let's get to matters of politics. Prince Adebayo, we've recently seen a wave of defections from the opposition party to the ruling party. In your opinion, is this a testament to the popularity of the ruling APC, or is it something that we should be more worrying about the state of our democracy in Nigeria, something more concerning?
Well, for someone like me, who has been receiving defectors from the APC and PDP, it will be hypocritical and envious of me to complain that some people are moving to the APC. I think that there's no fear for democracy there, in the sense that, one, democracy lies with the people. Majority of Nigerians don't even belong to any political party. So as we speak today, the threat to our democracy is the fact that majority of Nigerians don't feel compelled or persuaded enough to be affiliated to the political parties. So the movement of people who have some names or who occupy certain positions where they're not even performing quite well to the ruling party is not something I consider to be negative. In fact, I've always argued that the definition of opposition should be properly understood. Opposition does not mean that because you don't belong to the party that has produced the president of majority National Assembly, that doesn't make you opposition. Opposition should be about whether you have ideological differences, you have something that the government is doing that you are opposing. But you could see that where they are moving from, PDP and APC, they are in alliance. They are the same. They are essentially one complex of political parties. They are together. So if you move from PDP to APC, you really haven't moved. You've just adjusted your seat from one end of the room to the other, because they have the same policies. They don't argue along party lines. And if you see all the activities in the National Assembly, you will not see any party line division among them. If you want to expel somebody, even members of that person's party will join the majority to expel the person. If you want to pass bad laws, the opposition, so-called the other parties, CDP, Labour, whatever, they will join the APC in passing the bad laws. So if they are passing a budget that is unconstitutional and contrary to Chapter 2 of the Constitution and against the people, and is poorly structured, poorly numbered, they will all come together and oppose it. So opposition you find in the National Assembly is usually along regional lines. Whether you bring a tax bill, there's no PDP position on the tax bill, and there's no APC position on the tax bill. You only have the position of northerners, northern governor, things like that. So let us understand the structure of our democracy. The political parties essentially, and I said, I think it was on your show that I said that Nigerian political elite essentially have the same ideology, but they don't have modus vivendi for sharing the spoil of office. That's why you find them in different political parties. So what Nigerian people need to do today is to try to bifurcate the democracy and ensure that while all of them are massing up all the bad performance from President Tinubu to some of these governors, when all of them are massing up into one party, the people of Nigeria should mass up to another party so that it can be like Brazil, where you know that this is the party of the people, and the other one is the party of the elite. That's the approach we are taking in the Social Democratic Party.
So what would be the party of the people that you speak about? Seeing as I'm assuming that you believe that the party of the elite would be the APC in this case, because you said that the APC and the PDP are sort of one and the same. So which party would be the party of the people?
Well, not to sound advertorial, the aspiration of the SDP is to be the party of the people. Occasionally, we ourselves have got some bit of pollution because some of the people who are notorious for bringing bad governments in the elite structure have put to our side, and because of the constitutional right of association, we are not able to say don't join us, but that's why you see that we've had a very tense ideological discussion that this is the party of the people. If you want to come to join us, you are welcome, but this is a party of the people. It's a party that believes in Chapter 2 of the Constitution, farewell to poverty and insecurity, things that affect the people, how to make sure that the commodity has the economy is not in the hand of the few elites who bribe politicians with campaign funds and things like that. That's what we want to do in the SDP, and that is the party of the people. Labour Party has a natural right to claim to be a party of the people, but unfortunately, they do need to look into it because the Labour Party, especially in the last election, the people who ran on their ticket came from the elite structure, and the policies that they brought were not the policies that can be associated with the Labour Party anywhere in the world. They are very conservative policies, they are very neoliberal policies, they are very neo-colonial policies. So for that reason, they lost that credential, and then they are in some crisis now. Hopefully, I pray to God that they manage to come out of it. But a lot of people who are on the side of the people have political parties that have been deregistered, have not been registered. So it's our hope that the SDP will not be lost to the elite structure, that we are going to keep it open and many people can mass into the party. And that's why I think we are the fastest growing political party now. You can, don't believe me, just go to INEC. We are the one returning the highest number of new members to the national, to the INEC every week.
Okay.
Every month, every week.
I also want to take you back to something you just said. You talked about the Labour Party claiming to be the party of the people, but you don't agree with that because you believe that there's some elites that joined the party and brought certain ideologies that are not representative of Labour parties around the world. Who are these elites that you speak of, and what ideologies did they bring to the Labour Party?
Okay, I didn't say that Labour Party is claiming to be part of the people. They've stopped doing that. I said that they have a natural claim to it by their name and by their history, that they are no longer going that way. But you will notice that their presidential candidate last time and the senators that they have, some of whom are already now joining the APC, the policies on which they ran were policies that were similar to the PDP policies because that's where they came from, and are similar to the policies now being badly implemented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC. So it is all the normal membership of the Labour Party. They remain the same, proletariat, workers, and all of that, but they don't produce them. They don't produce them as president. They don't produce them for governors. They don't produce them for Senate. They produce them for the National Assembly. And I'm not even sure that they produce them for Houses of Assembly. So you do not have to be a member of the party. You just pay and buy the form. No question asked is given to you. And then you go out and campaign saying that I'm going to cut jobs. I'm going to remove subsidy. I'm going to do this and that. These things are not things that a party of the people would accept.
So you wouldn't have removed, are you saying that you wouldn't have removed subsidy if you were the, if you had eventually become president?
If I answer your question, that would be the 11 million time I've said so. I will not.
Okay.
And I will lay down the policies why we will not. And if you say you will in SDP, you will not get the ticket. And if you are not careful, you will get expelled. So, will you believe these are things you cannot do? So that's what I think. That's why we don't want any governor to join us, because we look at all the governors, none of them is performing. So we don't need any of them to join us. We need them to face the verdict of the people. And we want to produce new governors, new president, new senators, and so on and so forth, that will now upstage those who are there now. So we are not jealous that wrongdoers are joining wrongdoers. We just want them all assembled in one place so that we can actually use the voters as a firing squad for them.
All right. But there are fears that some of the politicians who are moving to new political parties end up, dismantling the fabric of that political party. And after they've gotten what they want, they also move to the next. Are you not worried that the current politicians who are indeed galloping from one party to another are all of a sudden coming to SDP? Are you not worried that they may in any way affect your political party, and if they don't get what they want, they would also continue the consistent move that they are known for?
No, we're not worried, because don't worry for what you are planning for. So you don't tell the person who has a house whether you're worried about the rainy season. You make sure you repair your roof, the dry season, ahead of the rainy season. What we managed to do is to define what our party stands for. And that's why you will have seen some of the reactions as people are joining our party. We welcome them, and we tell them ideological issues. And we also tell them all these shenanigans that you do in your party, don't bring them here. And we spend a lot of time educating our members. Don't suddenly get used to money you didn't ask for or money you didn't work for. Don't start to learn bad habits. Don't start to set up fake structures. Don't start to do unlawful registration. Don't start to fragment yourself. Don't start talking about ethnicity, religion, and things. So keep educating our people, and you can go around the state, you will see a lot of tension, because when they come and they say, oh, we want to move you to a bigger secretariat, we need to buy this or that, people say, no, that's not what we need in this party. Maybe you should keep your money to yourself. And you will see a lot of, you saw that there was a press conference by all our state chairmen where they said, look, you guys who are coming newly, study our ideology, don't try to impose anything on us, we don't need anything from you, just join the party and start behaving well, So that's the kind of thing. We have that dialogue all the time. It is not, contrary to what they are thinking. It's not that we don't want them. We just don't want to come and change us. We want to change them. And we don't want to be used for things that are not in the interest of the people. I gave a speech which went viral last week on my wife's 50th birthday. I said, if you have arrangements in your former political party, if you were a former supporter of President Tinubu, and you had your conspiracy against the people, and you promised your own reward for that, and they didn't give it to you, that is not the basis to come to the SDP. And if you come to the SDP, don't tell us, we don't want to know, we are not interested in it. It is not that we are not opposed to President Tinubu. We are opposed to him vehemently on policy. We do not have a history with him. We have no understanding with him. When they won the election and they were offering us position, we did not accept. We did not dramatize it. We just told them, sorry, keep it on to yourself, run your government, who will be here offering alternative. The same thing with the coalition. We are talking with the people. What we are saying is, if you plan something out there on how to wrest power, don't come to us. Just come to us only if you want to wrest power for the benefit of the people. And you must now start talking to us on what you will do differently. Start talking to us on what the people want. Start talking to us about how you are going to show to the people that you are repentant and you are accountable for your past action, past words, past misdeeds, past misgovernance. Once you do all of that, then you join our party, we can grow in the structure, and when we see that you have behaved very well, maybe not in this election, maybe in the next election cycle, maybe in the future, we'll start to feature you, but for now, we want to keep our stream very pure and let it be that Nigerian people who are angry have a political party for themselves.
But Prince Adebayo, I mean, people listening now might think, wow, that your political party is almost like the rules and regulations you have is almost like you're joining a private members club. Doesn't that oppose the principle of democracy in the first place, where people think of politics as a game of numbers? You want more people to join your party, and you're setting up all these barriers. That's one. My second line of questioning is this. If you look at the opposition political parties in Nigeria today, they are either dealing with one form of crisis or the other. How has the SDP managed to insulate itself from this crisis? And aren't you afraid that all these strange bedfellows, those that have been associated with the APC or PDP in the past that you recently admitted into your fold, might corrupt the system or they might be moles?
Well, the answer, your second question is the answer to the first question. The reason why rules are there is, how do you know a member of SDP from a member of another party? You know, not just by the logo of the party, but by the set of beliefs that we have. So if we join an association and the minimum requirement is that you must believe in their ideology, in their system, you can't say I'm a Catholic, you don't believe in Virgin Mary. That's not, there's no democracy in that. You say, well, I'm a Catholic, but I don't believe in Virgin Mary. I'm a Catholic, but I don't believe in the redemptive sacrifice of Christ. I don't believe in the Pope, and I don't believe in the sacrament. So you can't do that. You cannot say I'm a Muslim, but I don't believe in praying 5 times. I don't believe in going to Makkah. Then what do you believe? Why do you want to be a Muslim? So you cannot say, I believe in the SDP, and you don't want to believe in programs that work for the people. That's our requirement. We are not saying that you must go to the house of Prince Adewole Adebayo and wash his clothes before you join the party. That's not what we are saying. What we are saying is that you must subscribe to the constitution of our party. You must subscribe to the ideology of the party, which is derived from Chapter 2 of the Constitution. And many things that you have been doing in your former party that are not consistent with those beliefs of ours, then you have to drop them. You cannot come and start to talk about you are going to punish the people, you are going to do any of these policies that don't work for the people. That's the minimum requirement. And if you are known to have been doing them in your former party, you must be seen to sufficiently denounce such things. That's what we're saying. In addition to that, there are some rules that are just basic decorum. Which is about being honest, not use money in politics. For example, these parties are known to bribe delegates. Delegates who say, I was paid $10,000 to vote. We can't do that here with the SDP. We've never done it. We don't know how to do it, and we're not going to start doing it now. So those are the things that are not too hard. Then with respect to the second leg of your question, we are having peace out of discipline. This discipline is the key. And the discipline means that you do not do money politics, don't accept money from people. Many of the parties that are really now is because they are being funded by these governors and these big men. And these big men, after funding you, they don't want to obey your laws. They want you to sell to them what they are paid for. So those are the things that we've managed so far. Secondly, we do not run our ambition. As I'm talking to you now, people who want to run for president are joining my party. I'm not stopping them, not blocking them. We're all using the same structure, no fractionalization. When it's time for the primaries, we go to the convention. Whoever is the winner, we support the person. That's the process. That's why we have discipline. And we are not being controlled from outside. We don't have any member of our party who is a minister under APC or who is collaborating with them, and they will tell them, go and destroy your home where you are coming from in order to keep your job. We don't have any of that. And we pray to God not to have it. And that's it. Discipline, discipline, discipline.
Okay. I think on a final note, just to, I mean, you said that it's not like your party is against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but against the policies that he's made or that his government has made for the country. There are those who argue that to be able to overturn the current administration's policies means one will need to kick them out of power. And the only way to kick them out of power would be a coalition, an opposing coalition. So would you say, whilst you say you're welcome to, the party is open to those who would stick to the party's ideologies and the rules and regulations, are you open to a potential coalition with the major opposition parties?
We're open to a coalition that guarantees that they will implement Chapter 2 of the Constitution, they will implement the manifesto of the SDP, they will be on the side of the people. Because we are not interested in election day victory only. Election day victory is meant for politicians only, and maybe their spouses, and their donors and sponsors and campaign staff. The real victory with electioneering is where you deliver for the people. And that delivery for the people is what we haven't seen. We have seen election victory. We have seen 2015 APC opposition defeating incumbent PDP. We have seen new government coming in. We have seen Tinubu replacing Buhari. What we haven't seen is better life for the people. We haven't seen accountability. We haven't seen rule of law. We have not seen an economy that works. We've not seen compassion for the people who are suffering. We've not seen rule of law to see that those who are in power are actually under the law. We haven't seen any of that. So that is what we're looking for. So what do we gain in joining just any opposition, any coalition that doesn't guarantee that they will serve the people? Only guarantees that we will replace the person who is there with somebody who is worse than him. So we don't want to be part of that. It's better that history writes that we took over power and we changed the destiny of the poor and we made the country a great country. So that the discussion we started with, tariff, economy, trade, all these issues, we'll be a master of it, and the world will know that a new agro-industrial power is coming out of Africa. Now, on the other hand, what do we gain if we just go there and find out suddenly that maybe I'm vice president, or I'm president, or I'm a minister, and I start doing what Tinubu is doing? What they are doing, calling government now, in other climes, is pure criminality, it's pure unconstitutionality, it's pure carnage against the people. Nowhere is safe, no stomach is filled with any food, nobody's job is secure, no job is well paid, the currency is not stable, the country is not properly governed, the president is an absentee president with scant regard to the dignity of his office, with scant regard to his functions as commander-in-chief of armed forces. People are dying, in Taliban in Paris, wherever, and there's no seriousness on the part of anybody. So you don't want to do a coalition that is going to result in that. How many 4 years in the life of a human being? 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. Before you know you are old, and that generation goes away without solving a single problem. How many of the problems that were in existence when I was born, January 8, 1972, have been kicked out by government, successive over time. They remain the same. Blackout, unemployment, insecurity, kidnapping, poverty. Why? No infrastructure, nothing works. It isn't by miracle that I was having anxiety at the beginning of this call whether electricity and internet is going to allow us to finish this interview in peace. So no country worries about these things anymore. We worry about great things, and that is why we are careful with the coalition. We don't want to spoil our brand. We don't want to have a bad name. You remember a man they used to call Lai Mohammed, who used to pillow President Goodluck Jonathan, who used to call him clueless, who used to make all the appropriate noises. He became a minister in the government that was worse than that of Goodluck Jonathan. He has disappeared into the ethers now. He's not accountable for anything. And many more of Buhari's ministers are crawling out of the caves with cases to answer for unaccountability without coming out to do something about that. They are also forming a new coalition. So we are our brothers. We are the same country people. We welcome them. But that question must not escape from our lips, that if you do not want to change governance, they don't change the incumbent. If you want to change the incumbent, then you must be willing to change governance. And if we don't change President Tinubu in 2027, I can tell you we are going to be in serious crisis.
All right. 2023 presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Prince Adewole Adebayo, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the show.